of cases is 12.2%, much higher than our 5% threshold, and our highest really since the winter surge. But today we do have some good news. I'm happy to announce the third winner of the Your Shot at a Million drawing. 18-year-old Audrey Chavis is from Winston-Salem, and her name was randomly drawn from the list of those vaccinated to be our latest North Carolina winner. Audrey plans to start her freshman year at Fayetteville State University this fall. She also works 2 jobs, but I'm thinking the sweepstakes win might give her a little leeway on that if she wants it. Audrey's with us today, and she's agreed to give us some of her thoughts. So Audrey, you want to come on up? I'd first like to ask you, Audrey, why did you choose to get vaccinated?
I chose to get vaccinated not only for the safety of other people around me, but simply for the safety of myself. When COVID first became big, it took away my senior year, and I saw how much it impacted everybody around me, all my fellow classmates, teachers, people around the world, and I saw how big of a deal it was. So not only did I want to get vaccinated for my own peace of mind, but for everyone around me who else could have been affected by COVID, anybody who has a sickness or something that could prohibit them from being able to live their life normally. I wanted to get vaccinated so I could be calm about going about my life and being able to get back to normal as soon as I possibly could.
So Audrey, I know you talk to a lot of people about this. What are the kinds of things you would say to people who are on the fence about getting this vaccination?
To the people who aren't sure whether they should get vaccinated or not, I would say I understand that there are people out there who are skeptical about what it could do to their bodies or how it could affect them negatively, but if you do your research and you take your time, the positive definitely outweighs the negative. There are way more pluses than minuses to getting your vaccination. It's easier to just get vaccinated and not have to worry about it than have to worry about constantly wearing a mask or putting yourself at risk, putting other people at risk, and it's easier to just listen to science and listen to the facts and just get vaccinated.
So Audrey, what was your reaction when you learned that you'd won $1 million?
My first reaction, honestly, it was pure shock. I had no other reaction than just absolute shock. I honestly didn't think that it was like a real thing. I kind of thought it was spam mail when I first saw it in my email. And it's still, honestly, I'm standing at this podium and it's still not clicking for me for some reason. I'm ecstatic, over the moon. I still have no words to describe like how happy I am. It's incredible for me, yeah. And it's indescribable, honestly.
So last question, I don't know if you know, but do you mind telling us what you plan to do with the money, if you do know?
So my main thing to do with the money is, number one, I'm going to use it to pay for school. I'm going to use it to get through my undergrads and my master's degree. I plan to major in psychology and become a family and marriage therapist. I'm sure I'll have some money left over. I plan on saving most of it, investing maybe 5 or 10% of it. And the rest of it, I don't know. I might treat myself to a shopping spree or something. I don't know. But most of it's going straight to my savings account. And if it's not for school or any other family emergencies, it's going straight to my savings.
Thanks so much for sharing your story, especially for getting vaccinated. I'd say it paid off in more ways than one for you. You're doing your part to end this pandemic, and we need more North Carolinians to follow your example. Thanks a bunch, Audrey. I appreciate it. Now we want to turn to our update. North Carolina's COVID-19 numbers continue to increase. But I can't stress this enough. The sharp rise in our numbers is driven by the unvaccinated. The data and the science are clear that getting a COVID vaccine dramatically lowers the chance of severe illness, hospitalization, and death. These vaccines are safe and effective, and they are the key to getting to the end of this pandemic. Last week, we announced that state government would begin verifying vaccination status for our state employees and executive cabinet agencies, and requiring anyone who's not vaccinated to be tested weekly and to wear a mask. That verification requirement takes effect September the 1st, and agencies are already starting to collect information from their employees. As a state employee myself, I've provided my vaccination card to the department. I've also strongly encouraged private businesses to do the same, and many are stepping up. A number of businesses are requiring vaccines for their workers, and I applaud that. We need all of us to come together and do what we can to increase our vaccination rate and stay safe from this disease. And that includes the private sector, nonprofits, doctors, schools, health departments. And as K through 12 schools prepare for the new school year, I encourage school boards to ask their staff and eligible students to get vaccinated as well. Positive news, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen a 42% increase in first shots. That's good, but we can't stop there. If you've gotten your shot, continue talking with your friends and family about why they need to get the vaccine too. I'd like to ask